The History of Animals by Aristotle. Narrated by James Harrington. Book 1. Part 1. Of the parts of animals some are simple, to wit, all such as divide into parts uniform with themselves, as flesh into flesh. Others are composite, such as divide into parts not uniform with themselves, as, for instance, the hand does not divide into hands, nor the face into faces. And of such as these, some are called not parts merely, but limbs or members. Such are those parts that, while entire in themselves, have within themselves other diverse parts. As for instance, the head, foot, hand, the arm as a whole, the chest, for these are all in themselves entire parts, and there are other diverse parts belonging to them. All those parts that do not subdivide into parts uniform with themselves are composed of parts that do so subdivide. For instance, hand is composed of flesh, sinews, and bones. Of animals, some resemble one another in all their parts, while others have parts wherein they differ. Sometimes the parts are identical in form or species, as, for instance, one man's nose or eye resembles another man's nose or eye, flesh, and bone. And in like manner with a horse, and with all other animals which we reckon to be of one and the same species. For as the whole is to the whole, so each to each are the parts severally. In other cases the parts are identical, save only for a difference in the way of excess or defect, as is the case in such animals as are of one and the same genus. By genus I mean, for instance, bird or fish, for each of these is subject to difference in respect of its genus, and there are many species of fishes and of birds. Within the limits of genera, most of the parts as a rule exhibit differences through contrast of the property or accident, such as color and shape, to which they are subject. In that some are more and some in a less degree the subject of the same property or accident, and also in the way of multitude or fewness, magnitude or parvitude, in short in the way of excess or defect. Thus in some the texture of the flesh is soft, in others firm. Some have a long bill, others a short one. Some have abundance of feathers, others have only a small quantity. It happens further that some have parts that others have not. For instance, some have spurs and others not, some have crests and others not. But as a general rule, most parts and those that go to make up the bulk of the body are either identical with one another, or differ from one another in the way of contrast and of excess and defect. For the more and the less may be represented as excess or defect. Once again, we may have to do with animals whose parts are neither identical in form nor yet identical save for differences in the way of excess or defect. But they are the same only in the way of analogy, as for instance, bone is only analogous to fish bone, nail to hoof, hand to claw, and scale to feather. For what the feather is in a bird, the scale is in a fish.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?